Today I will be showing you how to make this hippo pencil topper, and you'll need about 85-90 single rubber bands. So let's get started. Let's make the gripper for our hippo. I'm making it purple, taking it from the first peg to the second peg, grabbing the outside rubber band and hooking it onto the center peg, and taking the other side of our rubber band and hooking it to a fourth peg. So that's what it should look like. Taking a single rubber band and covering the 4 pegs, creating a diamond like that. Push it down and repeat for another rubber band, and that's a total of 3. You're pulling the bottom single and looping it up and over the peg. And we'll do that for all 4 pegs and repeat 12 times with 12 single rubber bands. Always pulling, adding the rubber band and then pulling the bottom single over the peg, and you should always be left with 2 single rubber bands before you add another one. Here's my last single rubber band, taking it and looping it on the 4 pegs. Again, grabbing the bottom single and looping it up and onto itself. Now we have 2 rubber bands on each peg. Reach in, grabbing the bottom band and looping it up over the peg, each pegs, and now taking your single and looping it right onto a single peg to add to our head later. Let's make the top of the mouth, taking 2 single rubber bands. We're coming down on each row like that with 2 single rubber bands. Now coming down once on either side with 2 single rubber bands. And let's close up our mouth. Coming diagonally from the 3rd to the 4th peg in the center. Close up the center of our mouth with 2 single rubber bands to the 4th center peg and push it down. Take a single rubber band and we're going to cap that off 4 times. Let's create the nostril, taking a single rubber band and looping it 3 times to create 4 loops like that. Taking a single rubber band, twist, double it, get it on your hook and pulling it right onto your hook like that. So that's 1 nostril. Do the other one, taking a single, looping it 3 times to create 4 loops. Taking your other single, twist, double it, pulling the nostril right onto your single rubber band. It's going on the face or the mouth, so taking the same color and pulling the nostrils right onto the single rubber band and looping it on the 3rd peg to the 3rd peg. And separate out our nostrils and point it down on between these rubber bands here. Let's put some holding rubber bands, taking 2 single rubber bands and creating a triangle there. And let's make the top teeth, taking a single, and once again, like the nostrils, we're looping it 3 times to create 4 loops. Taking a single, twist, double, and getting our tooth right onto our hook like that, and then adding it on the 3rd side peg. Repeat for the other tooth. Once again, looping it a single 4 times on the hook like that. Taking a single, twist, double it, and pulling it right onto a hook and attaching it on the other 3rd peg like that. Now go under the cap band, grab the top two bands, and loop up and onto itself, and let's finish up the center of the face, the top of the mouth, all the way to the top peg. Go in the cap band again, grab the next top two, loop up and onto itself, and let's finish that side. Reach in, grabbing the bottom two bands, and loop up and onto itself. Let's finish the other side, go under the cap band, grab the bottom two bands, looping it up, and just keep looping it up and onto itself like that. Continue taking it off the loom, and we're going to put it on a holding hook. For later, here's a holding hook. I'm grabbing it from the bottom, so the top of our mouth will be right side up. So that's the top of our mouth. Let's put it aside and make the bottom of our mouth. Taking two single rubber bands, coming from the side first to the side second. Repeat for both sides. Taking a single rubber band, coming in diagonally, like that for both. From the side second to the center third. Taking two single rubber bands, coming from the second to the third peg on both sides, like that. Taking two more, coming in and closing off on both sides, like that. Taking two single red rubber bands, we're adding a little tongue for our hippo and pushing the fourth peg down there, the rubber band, so it doesn't overlap. Taking a single rubber band, and we're capping the fourth center peg off 4 times. And let's do our teeth. And I made one here. I'll show you how to make the other one. You'll have to make 2. It's real quick. Taking a single, twist, put it over the left peg, twist it back, and loop it up, back onto the first peg, and you reach in, grabbing the bottom band, and loop it to the center, and repeat on the other side, so you have 2 knots on your loom. Get it on your hook. I'll get both on my hook there. There are our 2 bottom teeth for our hippo, and I'm adding it to the third peg and the third peg for both sides. There's the bottom teeth for our hippo. Taking a holding rubber band now, taking single, twist, double, and putting it from the third peg to the third peg for over our teeth. Another single, twist, double, from the second peg to the second peg for a holding rubber band. Now go under the cap band, grab the top 2 reds, and looping it up and onto itself. Go in the center peg, grab the top single, looping it up onto itself, and the last single, looping it up and onto itself. Go back under the cap band, grab the top 2 single, and mine's going to the right, and let's finish looping the right. Go in, grab only the bottom 2 bands, and finishing it to the first peg. Repeat on the other side, grabbing the bottom 2 bands, looping it up and onto itself. And now we'll take it off the loom, and we'll put it on a holding hook to add to our face later. There's the bottom and the top of our mouth. And now let's do the face, taking 2 single rubber bands. We're coming from the first to the second peg in the center, and 2 single rubber bands coming diagonally for both sides, like that. We'll come down 2 times on both sides with 2 single rubber bands. and 2 single to close it off, like that. And now down the center of our face with 2 single rubber bands, like that. We can add the eyes. I'm making mine black, taking a single and looping it 3 times to create 4 loops, taking a single white, twist, double it, getting the eye right onto our hook. It's one eye, repeat on the other, taking a single, looping it 3 times to create 4 loops, taking a single white, twist, double it, and getting our eye onto our hook like that. Now taking a single rubber band and getting our eye right onto the single rubber band and looping it on the 3rd peg to the 3rd peg, like that. And let's put a holding rubber band triangle right there. Let's put a holding rubber band around the eyes like that. And if you want to make it just a hippo head charm, you can cap this off. But since we're making it a pencil topper, take the grip off and we're going to put it right onto the 4th peg there at the bottom, like that. It's through the ear, taking a single, looping it 3 times to create 4 loops, like our eye, taking another single, twist, double, and pulling the bands right onto your hook, like that. And then attaching it to the ear peg. Make sure you get all the rubber bands on there. Repeat on the other side, taking a single, twist, double. We can do it on the loom, it's the same thing. Put it from one peg to the other, taking a single and capping it off 4 times. Now go under the cap band, grab the bottom 2 bands, looping it up. Take the cap band side off, get it on your hook, and then attaching it to the 1st peg on the other side, or for our ear. And now let's loop up. Go under the cap band, grab the top 2 rubber bands, loop up and onto itself, go back in, grabbing the next top 2, looping it onto itself, and finally the last 2, looping it up and onto itself. And now we want to push it down because we want to add the bottom of our mouth. Let's attach the bottom of the mouth, and we're attaching it from the 3rd peg to the 3rd peg on both sides of the face. And there should be 4 rubber bands on each. And I'm going to transfer it onto my hook so I can see better. I want the teeth to be up, and we want to make sure our hook is in the loops. So get your bottom mouth and attaching it on this left, mine's on the right 3rd peg, pull it below the 4th peg in the center, and then attaching the other side onto the 3rd peg on the left side. So my bottom of my mouth is on. I attach one side on the right 3rd peg and the other side on the 3rd peg on the left. And I'm just drooping it right below the 4th peg in the center. That's so my bottom mouth is on. Let's do the top of my mouth, same thing. I'm attaching it on the 3rd, and 3rd peg on the face. So there should be 4 rubber bands on each. We want the nostrils facing upwards. So 4 rubber bands, making sure you put it all on there, stretching it out, attaching it to the left 3rd peg, hold it down, 4 more, attaching it to the center 3rd peg, and lastly the right side, attaching it to the right 3rd peg. So the top of my mouth is on. Go under the cap band, grab the bottom 2 bands and loop up. And onto itself, creating a nice teardrop, like that. Make sure you hold your rubber band down, see all the rubber bands are catching. And repeat on the other side, go under, grab the bottom 2 bands, and loop up and onto itself. Let's follow the side, go under the ear, make sure you grab the bottom 2 bands, and loop up and onto itself. Like that. And now finishing up the center, go in, grabbing the bottom 2 bands, and looping it up and onto itself. And we are finished with the face, taking a single rubber band to create a slip knot. Let's take our pencil topper hippo off the loom. There's our hippo pencil topper. Make sure you pull the slip knot rubber band tight so it doesn't come off, and tuck it in. Pull the eyes out. The nostrils are out, fix the teeth so that way it's sticking in the right way, both of them. Fix the bottom of the tooth and pull it up so it's pointing upwards, like that. And you can push the tongue out more if you want. And now take your pencil and push the eraser part through the hole, the grip for our pencil topper. Pull out the ears a little bit. So there's our hippo pencil topper. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.